Hey folks, it's time for TWiP Pro Photo Critique number 61. This is TWiP. Hey, welcome back to another This Week in Photo or TWiP Pro Photo Critique. This is critique session number 61. This session is all about motion. That was the topic of this week's critique. We got lots of good submissions of how the members are interpreting motion photographically. Troy Miller, my partner in crime, is here to join me and talk about this stuff. What do you think, man? Lots of good stuff today, huh?
It's good. It's good. Hey, I like the beanie. Today, no beanie for me, but I like that you're sporting a beanie, so that's good.
I'm wearing this beanie in out of respect for you. So this is my Troy Miller look here. Glasses, nice. The beanie, but I went a little different. I got to be unique. See, this is a hipster beanie. That's just too much. It doesn't have a ball on it or anything, but you
need a little ball on it. Yeah.
Hey, this is the cool kid. I'm a cool kid now. I go to clubs like this or whatever.
They ask for your ID, you just
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it serves as I can put an extra lens back there or something. I don't know.
Yes, you could. Yeah.
I could. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Lots of cool stuff to go through today. As we record this, you know what day it is. It's a holiday.
I do know it's a holiday.
Which holiday is it? It's two holidays. Isn't it? Is it Cesar Chavez Day? I think. But it's also April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
April 1. So watch out for things that may happen today. I'm just saying. I've been known as the trickster.
It's already begun.
Yeah. This is my Halloween. April Fool's Day is my Halloween.
My computer said, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and connect." No, we're not.
Yeah.
It took a half hour to get it to work.
I know. Yeah, it's always changing. That's what keeps this stuff interesting, right? We're always updating software and hitting bugs, and we're on the bleeding edge. We are dancing on the bleeding edge, Troy Miller, right?
We're not streaming live today, right?
We are not. We are not streaming. We are going to be streaming live regularly soon. But yeah, it's funny because, like you talk about the House of Cards, I'm using beta software now to do the show. so anything I'm using beta software on April Fool's Day. So technically the show should not work, period. And I have a beanie on, so who knows. All right, let's do this. You ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see. Let me bring us back here. Let's just bring up TWiP Pro topics, photo critique, and then I'll share my screen. Day created. Okay, here we go. On with the show. Oh, look who posted a photo. Look who posted the latest photo in the community. Who could this be?
I don't know.
Miller.
I don't know. You did tell me during the last one that you wanted to see some fire.
I did, and I do.
That's just my honorary, sharing of one of my fire shots.
And you captioned it. Boom. Let's take a look. Look at that. That is just so crazy. That is so crazy how you're able to capture these. And this is one shot, right? This is just one. Yeah. Tell us how you do this for people that are looking at this and they're like, okay, maybe I want to try that one day. How did you do this? and how do you do it without burning your house down?
Well, that is the scary part. So I don't advocate that anybody really go too far into doing this, but that's a 1-inch wide tube right there that I pump propane into, and not propane. It's propane, and then I have an igniter in there, like you'd have like in a torch. Mm-hmm. And you get just a little bit of propane in there, close the valve, and then you fire the spark and boom.
Wow. Well, how do you trigger the shot? Are you shooting in a completely dark room and you just leave the shutter open or what?
Yep. Completely dark room. So it's a cacophony of movements. It's open the shutter for a second. It's a full second. So open the shutter, turn on the gas, turn off the gas, fire the clicker, boom. look at the back of the camera, say if it worked or not.
Nice. That is beautiful. And that's so cool because every time you do it, it's something new. So it's like,
oh yeah,
it's got to be cathartic for you as well, right? It's like, okay, I'm going hunting for wabbits, and you come back and look what I caught today,
Yep. And you create hundreds to get one. It's crazy. Yeah, because it's organic, right? It changes all the time. There's just no way to predict what it's going to do.
And you're doing this in your garage / back cave / evil lair, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Well, thanks for submitting that, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, a little bizarre motion in there.
I love it. Love it. All right. Next one up is from Kai Groddard. And Kai says, bidirectional motion during the blue hour. Look at that.
You know what makes me think about when I see this, other than the fact that Kai has an amazing image here, how the hell did he get a camera there?
Yeah, because he seems to be off the edge, right?
Yeah, he's on the outside of a turn, which is the scariest place to be. So, other than that,
and there's traffic, obviously. So there's not like,
right.
And he's not like he just leaned out and snapped this. This is a long exposure. So he had to be there for at least several seconds to get this shot.
Yeah. It's awesome. You've got the motion. I'm kind of struggling with the left side of the frame. I don't think we need as much because I feel like the barrier, from the road is too dead center for me. I'd like to see it a little bit more off center, so maybe crop half of the left side,
like almost to that first tree.
Like halfway, like just half of the left side.
Okay,
because then it puts the tree on the left third. I would prefer that, but then it might put the tunnel in the center, which maybe that was what he was doing, was putting it off center. This is definitely a challenging image to crop.
Yeah.
But I love all the motion, that bright orange spot that's in there that's not overexposed. Mm-hmm. That's handled really well. It's really cool.
Yeah, he nailed the topic, motion.
Yep, it's clean. It's well done. Yeah,
very well done. Thank you, Kai.
No dust spots either. Man, he's good at that.
Yeah, attention to detail. It's all about attention to detail. Man.
Yep.
People can tell, especially us. We can tell when you've spent an extra minute going over your image to make sure that it's spot on.
Right.
Here, Steven Scharf is in the house. Steven says, from the U.S. MotoGP at Laguna Seca, where the motion averages about 120 miles per hour, rider Colin Edwards on his factory Yamaha. Look at that. Yeah, that's motion for sure. Look at all that detail, though. Jeez.
I know. No, you know what?
This guy blends into the bike. He's almost part of the bike. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but the background matches the bike, which is interesting too.
Yeah.
Those streaks. Yeah. So it's nice color harmony, good motion. I like that. I feel it's a little tight on the back.
Yeah, it's right next to the wheel.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't right against the wheel. But then again, it adds a little tension, so it's not so bad. And there's no room for copy, so maybe we could add a little room there.
Yeah. Well, in a shot like this, that's a good point. In a shot, if this is on the negative, or on the raw file like this, and there was no room, using content aware scale, there's enough behind that motorcycle to stretch it out a couple of centimeters, right?
Yeah, maybe. It could be tough. I mean, if it's not there, it's really hard to get it, because what it'll do is it'll repeat that little tiny sliver over and over and over. Mm-hmm. And it might not look natural. Look, it's not a deal breaker. It's just one of those kind of things that it feels like it should have a little bit better balance back there. Mm-hmm. But that's nitpicking, right? That's what we're doing. We're nitpicking.
That's what we do. We nitpick.
But it's sharp. It's a nice panning shot. The background's blurred, so you can't really see what the background is, which I like that a lot. There's a lot of distractions usually back there. So
yeah, very well done. That's a Steven Scharf shot for sure.
Yep.
Thank you, Steven. All right, Laura Patton's up next. And Laura says, this is Grand Central Station in New York City, where the motion never stops. Look at that.
Whenever I see this shot, I always picture like what was it, a train or something that came through those in some movie.
Right, yeah. This is cool. I've never been in Grand Central Station. I've passed by it many, many times. I've never been in there. I got to go in there and play around like this.
Yeah, there's an Apple store in there.
Is there?
think so.
Oh, wow. There you go. Now it's a destination.
Not the destination. Yeah, this is very cool. It's really interesting how it's assembled. It's not just a regular motion image. It looks to me like it's a bunch of images that maybe were stacked, because there's feet. Like I can see just feet standing there, but there's no bodies to go with it on the left side.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, I see those.
I mean, I like it. I think it's really cool. I'm just interested in how it was assembled. And obviously, there's a young lady in the front center. Maybe that was somebody that was posing for the photo, which I think that's kind of cool. Not moving.
Yeah, that had to hold still for the entire duration of the exposure. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. I think an image like this to me needs to be black and white. I think that a building like this and all those graphical elements and the reflections, I would love to see it in black and white.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Because you got to think about, like we always say, is color adding? Is color part of the story, or is it, is the story better told without it? So yeah,
right.
I think you're right.
Right. Very cool image though. I like it. I'm interested to see how it was made, how those stacks were done.
Yeah. Yeah. Laura, let us know. Very nice. Grand Central Station. All right. Next shot up is from Armando Brook. And Armando says, this is the old Sao Paulo train station called Estaco. You had to put that in there. Didn't you? Those characters I can't say. Estaco da Luz. I need to wait to have the chance to get 2 trains in movement. He shot this 16 millimeter f6.3, 1 second, ISO 125. Let's take a look.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Yeah, this one does not want to be black and white for sure.
No. Even right down to looks like the brooms or something in the foreground at the bottom, the yellow and the red. I mean, they stand out, which I think is really kind of cool.
Yeah. And you can tell, speaking of attention to detail, you can tell that everything in the shot was on purpose. The crop, the symmetry, the long exposure, the processing, everything, even, I don't know if he did any processing to make the streaks pop out more, but if he did, even that's intentional. So it's very well done.
Yeah, I would probably crop up slightly on the bottom to lower that center point just a little bit, get it off of a little bit further down on the thirds.
So it's not dead center?
Yeah, because what I think it would do is it'd make the roof feel bigger, which I think is really impressive in this shot, is that you have all these angles and this perspective of view as you look into the station, right, or out of the station actually. And I think if you lower the horizon a little bit, it would make the roof feel bigger, like you're deeper in.
Yeah.
But
yep.
Well handled, man. That's nice.
Yeah, that is.
The more I look at it, the more I see, the more detail that's in there.
Yeah, you see how these details just reveal themselves.
All the people in there on the right, and even the 2 little signs on the left and the right, the Luz. It's they're almost perfectly balanced. So you've got that camera right where it needs to be. That's really well handled.
Yep. Good job, sir. Good job.
Armando.
All right. Moving on. Candy Chivoli is up next. Candy says, I had a hard time deciding what to submit this week. I tried a few different things that didn't work. So I went back to the archives just a bit and reprocessed this infrared image differently with subtle motion and a slightly surreal look. Oh, okay, cool. Let's take a look. Yeah, she went back to the archives and used her powers of Photoshop to edit this one. Look at that. You're familiar with these pinks, aren't you?
Yeah. You just color shift of that that tone. Usually they're magenta, so you're just shifting the tone a little bit. I like that. I really like that a lot. I like the idea of the motion. You could crop off the right side. Really it's about the fountain and then the odd colors of the palm fronds in the back. Like we know that. I feel like the fountain is off center.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could definitely crop that.
And the palms are supporting characters, and the star is that fountain and the motion around it, right?
Right. And the neat thing is because what those palm fronds. The shapes are, but they're a weird color that adds that sort of surreal look to it, right? Sort of a mystery. Like, what? Why are those different colors? The water's blue, the concrete looks right, but why are those things pink?
Yeah.
It's an alternate universe.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Love it. Very good, Candy. Thank you. And thank you for submitting. Thank you for going the extra mile to dive into the archive to create something to submit this week. Steve Dickerson's up next. Steve Dickerson says, taken during an acrobatic show on a cruise ship, the male performer was twirling a female performer over top of his head. Well, wow. That's motion for sure.
I know. We're both like, wow, we're not nearly that fit.
No. Yeah, speak for yourself, man.
Oh, you got the beanie now. That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. I'm in the beanie club.
The power of the beanie.
When I saw this, you know what this reminded me of? Your shot.
Oh, so the fire shot?
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of sort of the dancing fire, in the black background and unrepeatable action, just sort of capturing the blur. But obviously this is in motion. Yours is frozen, but this is
right.
Yeah, very cool.
Right. No, I dig it. I just wish that there was a little bit less motion, a little bit less movement, because I'd like to see his left arm a little bit more, and maybe the figure of the woman he's holding a little bit better, because it's so abstract. I don't know. I like it abstract though, so I'm kind of struggling, but part of me just wishes that I could see more of like his left arm, that I know is somewhere.
Yeah, I hear you. I like it obscured like this, where you have to kind of look into it to figure out what's going on, because that's the purpose, of a shot like this, that's abstract, is to pull you in a little bit and make you think, and it makes you think. It's definitely not literal.
No, that's true. No, the more I look at it, the more, I do like abstract, so I probably would have gone with this one as well. So yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. I do really like the abstractness of that.
Very nice. Very nice work.
While he was on a cruise ship.
I gotta take a cruise one day. Every time I get into a mindset of wanting to take a cruise, I see some news about horrific cruises. People getting trapped and helicoptered out, and going to the bathroom on the deck, and I'm like, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. It's like me looking at life on an airplane. Like, I don't want to get on that. I've done cruises several times though.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're even more trapped on an airplane. But at least it's a shorter duration. Next one is from Craig Stamfley. Craig says, Brisbane light trails because I wasn't allowed to submit waves. You could have submit waves.
You could have submitted waves. Yeah, his waves are amazing.
That's your own conscience right there talking. We never said you couldn't do that.
He didn't want to steal the show with his waves.
Yeah, there you go.
Instead, he's taking pictures of the cold beer and hot girls across the street.
Yeah. Love it. I love it.
Didn't think we'd notice that, huh, Craig?
We can zoom, my friend. We can zoom. No, this is nice. This is chaotic, isn't it? This is when I saw this and I just thought chaos and chaos in motion.
Well, I love the fact that the angle that's chosen, the really, really low angle right along the street. That's really great. The stars, the flaring of the lights in there. Mm-hmm. That's all intentional, and I think that that's what really makes this image amazing. I love that. This is one of those images. The more I look at it, the more that I like it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it draws you in, right? And you start just like the other image. It draws you in. You start seeing details in here. And that's the thing about photography. I think that I don't know that we're losing, but it's definitely becoming more diluted in the world of Instagram, where it's like, oh, nice image, swipe. Oh, nice image, swipe. Right. Just hovering on an image and absorbing the image and seeing what was there, is becoming a lost art. This is why these critiques are so fun.
Yeah. No, and you're so right. Like, we need to absorb the image because somebody took a lot of time. Think about it on Instagram when you're flipping through there. There's images that somebody took no time for, right? Mm-hmm. But there's others.
Part, yeah.
Yeah, but there's others where they spent hours, days, maybe weeks or years planning to get to that location to take that shot. It kind of makes me sad that they're just skipped over.
Right.
And if there's a cat, then it gets a better like anyway. So
yeah, or dog,
cookies.
Cat or dog. Yeah, they get all the likes, and then the work you've traveled across the world to meet up with this lost tribe, and you got a shot of the chief of the tribe out in the middle of nowhere, and you got dysentery trying to get the shot, and then somebody looks at it and they're like, "Oh, nice, swipe."
Oh, look at the cat! Everybody, look at the. Yeah, I know.
See, hey, that's our oldness talking right there.
It's like my Instagram feed, right? Like on Imagery Concepts, I have all these beautiful brides. We're there on the day, all this time planning, and cookies get more likes.
Yeah. Humans. What are you gonna do?
Buy our brides, by the way. Just to be clear, it's the brides that
are yeah. Love it.
Nice shot, Craig.
Yep.
Pixel manipulator.
All right, here's another shot. Okay. Michael Morrison. Let's bring this one up. Oh my gosh. Porsche GT4 Emotion, 13 images composited into one. All images were taken at 90 millimeter, 100 ISO, f9 in 15 seconds with a Sony A7R3. Each image was taken by moving a Westcott ice light. You have some of those. Or you have no, do you? You have some of those.
I have one. Yeah, I'm borrowing it from Peter.
Westcott ice light over the contours of the GT4 to bring out the shape of the car and to light the entire car. Small radial blur on the tires and motion blur to give you a feeling of movement. One problem, if you look carefully, there's no driver. Enjoy, Michael Morrison. All right, let's take a look at this. Look at that. That is a professional shot right there.
That is wicked cool.
That is a shot that is not possible or very hard to do any other way. Than
light painting basically is what this is. This is all light painting.
Yeah. What did he say? 9 exposures, right?
Yeah. That's impressive. That's not easy to do. Light painting is an art in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. And I would not have known there wasn't a driver in here unless he told us.
Yeah. You would have seen him in there though.
Maybe not. I mean, I'd be looking at the car too much. The car is ridiculous.
At first, I thought maybe it was a model. And it does. I mean, it doesn't look like a model. He didn't say it was a model, so I'm assuming it's real. It looks real. Yeah. I'm going to go with real. But I'm like, there's no driver, so that's what made me think of it was a model. So
yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, no, this is really great. I'm looking underneath the car by the back top, stuff like that. There's some like weird shapes going on. Mm-hmm. So. Like the bottom of the tire looks flat.
I see that. Yeah, I see that.
It was probably a shadow or something, and then right underneath the flare of the car, the bottom edge there by the back tire, there's like a white triangle. It looks like it's clipped, like maybe there was a piece left, and then
right.
Sorry, Michael, I'm nitpicking now. Underneath the front bumper, immediately below the front bumper, there's a weird shape there. See it in the streak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a gremlin.
Yeah. But easily corrected though, right? Easily
corrected. This is beautiful. Mm-hmm. This is fantastic. I'm really impressed that this was done by light painting. That is so amazing.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
I mean, there's huge studios that guys have to photograph cars in just so that they can get all the whole car in there, and he just does it with an ice light.
Yeah. Yeah. With one ice light. The power of light, man. If you understand how light works, and how your camera works and how exposure works, you can do this kind of thing on anything almost.
Someday I'll understand some of that stuff.
Yeah, just keep at it. All right. Next up is Mark Harris. Mark says, through the door she passed. I gotta say that in my dramatic soap opera voice. Through the door she passed. For the motion theme, this was made specifically for an art exhibit titled Doors. He shot this with his Nikon 850 with his Zeiss 28mm at f2.0 or f2.0 lens at f8. 4 seconds, ISO 64 diffuse window light.
I really love the concept of this. This is really neat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would like to have seen her rather than just standing there doing like maybe walking through the door or Because I mean, well, maybe she's just the intent is that she's ethereally floating through that doorway, right? So ghosts don't really have to walk anymore; they can just float, right?
Right, right. Well, I mean, I think it would be nice to see a step, or a shape in the dress that makes it look like a step. I think also it could be really helpful here is some dodging and burning, to maybe just a little radial gradient to bring a little bit more focus on her, darken up the tones a little bit, give it more of an eerie sense. Maybe that's not what he's going for, but my brain immediately says, ooh, this weird and strange person moving through this room. I need to create more mood with the lighting.
Yeah.
I love the concept, though. I mean, it's a great concept.
Yeah, love it. And it's motion. It definitely fits into motion.
Yeah. Zeiss 28 millimeter. It's nice. Using a good camera, too. Look at that.
Here we go. Here we go.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you did. Here you go.
Maybe
Tanja DePrinz is up next, and Tanja says, Art in Motion. I photographed a ballet dancer for a project of mine about young artists performing their art in several public places in Antwerp, Belgium. The idea is to create harmony, like a kind of painting in which all elements play an equal part. This one was taken in an open-air museum for modern art, and she took the stage entangled in her dance. Nice. Look at that. See, this one you have to like hunt for her.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Very it's like a very nostalgic looking building.
It is.
It is. Yeah.
I like the mixture of architecture and modern dance in there, where it's like, we've seen these series before where there's, a similar, you would never, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but the juxtaposition of subject in an area where they wouldn't normally be. Right. So it's like, oh, okay, you don't see that every day. It's a ballerina in the middle of this area, or a ballerina doing something somewhere where you don't normally see ballerinas, and then doing a whole series, like she said, of people doing that thing in places where they're not normally doing that thing. I think that's really interesting.
Right. One of my biggest struggles with this image is because she's so small, and I like the fact that she's like hidden, right? Like she's not obvious in the frame, but there's a parking lot directly behind her. And I think that, if the frame had been tilted down, give us some more foreground, pan to the right a little bit, keep it centered, but use that clean grass or maybe trees over on the right, something like that.
Even the cars are distracting.
Yeah, the cars are distracting. Yeah, I mean, I love the concept of the shot. I'm completely engrossed in this whole shot. I want to see the series. I want to see where else this takes us.
Yeah, Tanja, if you have a link to the series, throw that in TWiP Pro so we can take a look at it. Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, the other thing I want to throw in there is that see the banding and the blues in the sky. That is not Tanja's fault. That is Mighty Networks and their compression algorithm, which is, a sledgehammer when it should be just a thumbtack, So they have some pretty heavy-handed compression in this software. So whenever we see areas of banding like that, that's not the artist's fault. That is the software's fault, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Compressing it to stream.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Next shot up. Moving right along here. Lamb is up next. And Lamb says an enthusiastic Australian team member was waving the national flag back and forth vigorously while the giant gas burner spinning out huge flames when each participating country name was announced at the 10th Putrajaya International Hot Air Balloon Fiesta, Malaysia, that was held March 28th to 31st, 2019. Oh, just a couple days ago.
Wow.
Motion, photo title, Fun and Joy All Night. Let's take a look.
Wow. Man, that thing's put up some heat.
Yeah. Have you ever photographed hot air balloons before?
I have. I've actually been in a hot air balloon.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Wait a minute.
I know.
You'll get in a hot air balloon, but you hate airplanes.
I don't hate airplanes. I just the being confined to a
You're like
chair
being suspended by gases that are
for
slightly
4 hours.
lighter than air is much more, safe than the airfoil science.
So, a friend of mine, Ken Skloot, is a pilot, and he's been flying hot air balloons for decades. And because we went out to Kanab for one of the festivals, and we were working on the team there, and he's like, "Okay, you're flying today," and I was like, "I don't know if I can." Margie jumped in the basket, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go," because it's Ken. Like, I trust Ken. He's my friend.
Yeah.
I trust him, and
you can't let your wife go without you, right? So
yeah, it was amazing. It was peaceful. I was afraid there'd be motion. I was afraid I'd feel a lot of motion, but there wasn't any motion. It was
Did you
just
get vertigo? You get like that? I get that tingling feeling in the pit of your stomach.
no. Heights don't bother me at all.
Yeah.
We had a very, very exciting landing, but it was good. I mean, it was good. It was super fun. And the rest of the weekend, we helped launch and do all that with the balloons, so they were a lot of fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? What do you think about the shot?
I love the shot. I really do. I think that these are hard to photograph because those burners are so bright. So it feels a little overexposed, but not because of the burner. It's just the background and stuff. I'd like to see the blacks brought down and let the burner just light the flag, mostly, right? And that way it'd be kind of in the dark. You see the people a little bit, but all in all, I mean, it's really great. The enthusiasm. This guy waving the flag is great photojournalistic moment. Yeah,
love it. You think this image would have benefited from some noise reduction in the sort of the area around the flame?
Yeah, I mean, always. If you're in Lightroom, you can just slide up the luminosity slider, or if you're in Photoshop, just go and do a camera raw filter and use the luminosity slider. It'll get rid of 99% of that noise because it'll take that color moire out, and it'll also smooth out some of the pixelization in there. It'll make a huge difference.
Cool.
Yeah. Great shot though. Great shot.
Love his write up too. It's very cool, except for that one word I couldn't pronounce. Where is it? Where is it in there? Oh, Putrajaya. I'm going to say Putrajaya or Putrajaya.
I'm not even going to try.
Putrajaya or Putrajaya, because maybe the J is, Anyway, I'm just like beating myself up with that word.
I'm just letting you go. It's great.
I know.
Keep going.
All right, next shot up is from Joshua Sommerfeld. Joshua says, getting some work done. Let's take a look at this bee. Look at this. It's coming up. This bee doesn't want to load. There he goes. Okay, bee's loaded.
I love the black and white conversion. I think that's so neat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that the colors are nice, and it would be neat to see the color one, Joshua, if you have the color one, just to compare. But I love the simplicity of this monochromatic shot, and the timing and everything is really great. And man, is that sharp? That's not easy.
Sharp. You even got the pollen on the bee's legs. Look at that. That is tack sharp.
Yep, he's smiling for the camera. He's doing he's doing duck lips. I can see the duck lips on the bee.
I see it. Yeah, he's saying sometimes it just bees like that. I'm here all week. Just saying, I'm here all week. Tip your waitresses.
Oh my God.
I love it. Good shot. And it's nice to see Joshua. Joshua has a range of stuff that he shoots. I've seen, these kind of shots from him. He's doing 3D stuff. He's doing in TWiP Pro. He's posted shots of alligators. He's definitely loves image making and content creation, which is awesome.
He's a creative. That's what we do.
And he streams on Twitch. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Joshua Sommerfeld.
Very cool shot.
Yep. Thank you for that. Moving right along. How many do we have left in here? Oh, no, we're almost done. Thomas Aaron is up next. And Thomas says, Manhattan Subway. This is, take a look at this one. Yep, I've been on those. I've gotten lost on those. I got lost on those
lost?
before the age of apps, where you don't have to get lost anymore.
I got distracted with the top of the frame. It looks like it's cut, right? You see that line?
Mm.
It's on an angle. It's right above the.
I do see that. Yeah.
Yeah, right above the ENT. The
Yeah,
ENT.
at an angle. Is that
Yeah,
is that there or is that?
What did you do, Thomas? What did you do?
Yeah, that's a cut. Yeah, that's a cut. That's not supposed to be there. We caught you. We caught you.
You did something.
Uh-huh.
You did something.
Yeah.
I really dig this shot. Maybe it's cool with the person in there, but for me, I think if we crop the whole left side out, remove the person, for me, it's really about the post with the sign, the Fulton Street sign,
and the motion of the train.
Yeah, to me, that's the main subject. Or maybe just burn down that left half, so that person looks more distant, create more depth in the frame. So the bright would be where the sign is, the post, and then it gets darker as you go deeper in.
Yeah. And he said this was, what did he say? Handheld at 1/5 of a second. Yeah. Wow.
He's going to have to answer for that.
Yeah. We want answers. We want answers in TWiP Pro. Go ahead and comment on this image in TWiP Pro, Thomas. I'm curious what happened up there.
Yeah. Come on, Thomas.
Yeah. He's like, All right. Next shot is from Michael DeRay. He says, motion. Let's bring that out. Look at that. Love the chains in this one.
I do too. I used to love riding on those things. I could be on those. I could do those today. I like those things.
See, you're a curious thrill seeker, Troy Miller. Like certain things that are not inherently safe, you're okay with doing them. But other things that millions of people do all the time, you're like, no, not doing it. Not doing it.
No, it's the social aspect or something. I mean, you can put me on a dirt bike and I'll haul butt across the desert wide open, and I'm good with that. I don't know. I have no answer for it at all. I have no explanation.
There's some algorithm in there that determines risk quotient and makes your decisions based on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love this one. I love the sort of, almost lithographic black and white look of this, where it's just like, the whites are all completely gone almost. And, you're kind of stuck with the graphical elements of the chain. I know what you're doing. I know you're cropping out that person to see what it would look like with just the chains and the chairs, right?
Yeah, I'm really enamored by just the graphical element of all the chains and the chairs in there. I don't sense a lot of motion in a shot like this, right? Like if I was a person that didn't know what this swing was, it might not make sense to me, right? So we need a little bit of motion. You can do it in post even. There's really easy ways to do that. Yeah. It doesn't need to be much. But I do love the enthusiasm and the timing of the shot and the graphical leading lines of the chains. I just dig that. And I like the finish. I like the border. The image is finished. I think that's really classy.
Yeah. And this woman looks like she's really having a good time on this thing, right?
Of course. You're weightless right there. You feel weightless, right?
Yeah. I love it. Love it.
Just don't flip me upside down. I'll be fine.
And make sure those chains hold, because you could be on those things and you get out at the stress point and that thing lets go, and it could be the end of a nice day.
There's 4 chains per chair. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, famous last words. It's right up there with, hey, this plane has 4 engines.
Oh, God. See, now, like the next image, I would do that.
Let's see. What's the next one? Oh, Mike Doran. Okay, here we go.
I would totally get on a bike and do that.
What does Mike say? Mike says, this image of multi-time world champion Casey Stoner was created during the Red Bull USGP at Laguna Seca Raceway using the Canon 1D Mark III and 300mm lens, ISO 200.
When do we get to go shoot that with Mike?
I know. You need to get out there. We're waiting on an invite from Mike. You need an invite. Mike, call Troy and get it set up. Troy wants to go to Laguna Seca and ride these things. Would
No,
you?
I don't want to ride those things. No.
Have you ever
no.
ridden a sport bike like this where you lean down and your knee touches and
I've
you're
done it in the
just
dirt.
well, no, you're not going to take this in the dirt, but have
No,
you
no,
ever-
I've done it in the dirt with a dirt bike.
Really?
Doing 40, 45. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Nothing like this though.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. As I get closer to pulling trigger on my motorcycle, it's becoming clearer and clearer and clearer what kind of motorcycles I don't want from watching YouTube videos about crashes and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is a representation of what I'm not buying right here.
Oh yeah, so much speed right there.
No, I don't need that. I need
This-
no.
This
I need
is
one of those
great.
upright nerd hipster BMW type machines.
The ones that fall over, you need friends to help you pick it up.
Well, there's actually YouTube videos that tell you how to pick up a motorcycle that's fallen over. there's a technique to picking it back up. It's interesting. Now I know how to pick up a motorcycle.
Oh, jeez.
But back to Mike's shot. This is
Mike.
classic Mike Doran, right? I mean, he's captured the attack sharp shot of this guy in motion, front wheel off the ground, confident rider, going at speed, panning, even got the heat distortion from the exhaust of his motorcycle behind the bike. He captured that too. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is really great. No, very well done. I mean, I love the timing in this. A little bit over processing maybe with the clarity slider or something. We're getting the halos around those tires. So just keep in mind that whenever you're processing an image and you're pushing clarity or dehaze or anything, wherever there's a really dark area, the way that it increases that contrast is it separates the tones. Basically, that's how it sharpens and creates mid contrast, creates that halo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a byproduct of pushing processing.
Just a little bit too hard, right?
Yeah, very easy to fix in Photoshop or like Affinity Photos. You create a layer and you just do a darken, and then you just brush in, and it'll blend in perfect, and it won't affect the tire.
Speaking of Affinity Photo, by the way, little inside baseball. I've been dialoguing back and forth with those guys. They're coming on the show.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, they're going to come on and we'll do an interview. They're going to do a webinar and walk through the software, and they're even going to kick down. Can't commit to this, but I'm trying to get them to kick down some codes for TWiP Pro. Some giveaway codes for maybe for a contest or something. So
We'll do an Affinity themed critique. Everything has to be edited in Affinity.
There you go. Yeah, love it.
Oh, good. I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, rounding out the whole what's the best post-processing software? I'm trying to answer that question. We did one
The one
with you.
your editor uses.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we did one with you on Capture One. We're going to do another one on Capture One with what's the guy's name? My name's drawing a blank from Capture One.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, him.
I can hear his voice. I can see the
David Grover. So
David Grover.
yeah.
Yes,
So David's coming on to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, David. I haven't had enough coffee.
I was going through his intro. I'm the.
It's cool accent. But yeah, he's coming on to do a Capture One walkthrough. We did one last week with Abba Shapiro on Luminar, and on and on and on. So, at the end, we'll have a library of webinars that people can go through and watch and make their own decision.
Yeah.
So very cool. Mike Doran, thank you for that. Eric Pronsky's up next. And Eric says, red bus passing by the Trafalgar Square station in London. The rain really helped the colors, as did Lightroom. I didn't see the motorcycle when I was taking the image. A happy accident, or should it not be in the image? Oh, interesting. Let's take a look.
Well, for Frederick that likes the motorcycles right now, he's very into motorcycles, so that might be a cool shot.
I like motorcycles. I just don't like it when they go horizontal.
Well, it's going to happen. Just be careful.
I know. I've already laid one down, so that's okay. I've got that under my belt. I don't mind the motorcycle in here. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. But it's because it's the brightest spot. It really draws my eye there. So really, it's the primary, and then the bus is the kind of the secondary. And I'm just kind of playing with crops. I'm trying to see about like how I would crop it, maybe a little bit off the left, a little off the bottom.
Well, playing with the crops, the question you're trying to answer for yourself is, what's the subject of this image? right?
Right.
And we're
Right.
struggling with
Right.
that. What is this? Is the subject the lion? Is the subject the bus in motion? It's not the motorcycle, but it is competing because it is one of the brightest spots in the image. Is it the older buildings in the background? What's the story that we're trying to tell with this image? And it's hard to tell it in its current crop, basically, right?
Right. And when you can't crop, like when you're there in the moment shooting, if you think about it, like, oh, maybe depth of field is going to give me my focus, my crop, if you will. So like if the lion, the statue on the left was out of focus or much softer, then we would immediately just pass that and go into the image, and that would help create more depth.
Yeah.
I mean, I love everything that's going on, the tonality and the mood and the feel and stuff, everything that we have here. I like the motion of the bus kind of in between all these other stationary objects, which is great. I'm just kind of struggling with, I feel like there's more than one image in here. Mm-hmm.
Or there needs to be a model on that sidewalk in front. Right?
Maybe if it was cropped, just, I don't know what that building is in the back, but the spire, the dome and the spire, if it was cropped just to the right of that, then the shot becomes the lion and then the motorcycle and a tiniest little bit of the bus coming in. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in here.
Yeah, that could work. I'm holding my hand. Yeah, that could work. Very nice.
I do like it, though.
All right, Eric, thank you for submitting that. All right, moving right along. Next shot is from Michael Rhino. And Michael Rhino says, my motion photo is one that I took recently in West Cliff, Colorado. I chose to freeze the motion by using a wide aperture, f2.8, and a higher ISO, 800, so that I get my shutter speed up to 1/1000th of a second. This was taken in low light during a chilly 5-degree morning, as the sun had not yet come over the horizon, taken with his Nikon D850 and Tamron 70 to 200 millimeter lens. Wow. Well, first of all, 5 degrees. I just want to draw a circle around.
No. Morning.
Morning. And 5 degrees. That takes some, no pun intended. It takes some horsepower to get out there. But look at this shot, man. Look at this beautiful shot. The shot in the leading horse is tack sharp. Look at his eyes. Tack sharp. You've got motion. You can almost hear the thunderous roar of those hooves in the snow coming at you. Yeah. No, I'm just looking at something else I'll mention in a second. No, the impact of this image is amazing. The timing is fantastic. The hooves out of the snow, the lead horse. Its ears are, one ear is listening to you, like it sees that you're there. I love the mane on the horse to the right that's blowing back. There's so much going on in here. The blonde on the right is looking at us.
The blonde, look at the blonde on the right, camera right.
Yeah.
What I was distracted with initially is in the top right hand corner, right above the blonde, there is some photoshopped artifact-y stuff going on up there.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah. Which would have been easily corrected. It
looks like something was maybe cloned out or cleaned up and it left some artifacts in there. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like something's going on.
Yep, I agree.
Killer, though.
Beautiful shot, though. I mean, I can see if he fixed that little anomaly up there, I could see this blown up big.
Yeah.
And this, you mentioned your idea of having frames and borders to trap the image in there. This might be a candidate for something like that, right? Kind of a key line around it. Yeah. Like it. Very nice, Michael Rhino. All right, here we go. Next shot up is from Mike Doran is a two submitter again. Mike Doran, submit one image per week. One image per week. So we're skipping this one. Sorry, you've done this before, so we gotta skip it. Next image is Howard Yermish. Howard Yermish says, for this week's motion critique theme, here's Dancer Vienna. I had a continuous light on the right of the frame to capture her spin, and then a strobe on the left, which I manually triggered right when she hit the point. Okay, let's bring that up.
Nice.
Yeah, that is really nice, huh?
That is really nice. Yeah. Yeah, that is really well done. That's very cool. I wish that she was more ghostly. Um, you know,
In that last exposure, you mean?
yeah, just a little bit. I feel like it's a little too strong of an element, but I do love the technique. I like that she's got that little bit of that blur element coming into her form. Um, no, this is exceptionally well done. I'm just making it bigger so I can look at it. I like it.
Yeah. I love these shots on black. I don't know what it is about the shots that are just the subject in a black stark background that looks
They're
so
simple,
attractive. Yeah,
right? I mean,
simplicity.
there's no distracting elements, or there's less distracting elements, and that I think that's what happens. Our brains just know exactly what to look at. We can just chew on the main subject, and I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you go to a gallery or a museum and you look at paintings, everything that's in there is intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every brush stroke.
Every
Yeah.
stroke. Yep.
Yeah. This is really nice, Howard. I really dig this. I really like this technique, and I think it's good in black and white. I like that monochromatic look.
All right. Yeah. I'm a big fan of this one. And again, this one fits the bill for blowing it up big and putting it on the wall, right?
Oh, it does. Yeah, certainly does. The exposures is handled really well. Direction of light is handled really well. And I love the dual light technique that's been used here, right? Like, I mean, there's been a lot of thought and intention put into this image. This is definitely a favorite.
Yeah, it's a favorite of mine too. Very nice. And this is Howard Yermish, huh?
Yeah, I think that's the last one.
Is this the last one? Let's see. Where are we? Let's scroll down. Yeah, that's the last one. All right, let's bring us back on screen here. Here we go.
I already picked my favorite.
Yeah, me too. I have a favorite. I'm gonna say it's Howard Yermish's.
Yeah. I was gonna write it on a sticky note just in case.
Yeah, I think my favorite was the horses. So it was between Howard Yermish and the horses, but I think Howard's wins out over it because the main reason I had to take a point away from the horses because of that anomaly in the top, the cloned area,
right?
Which could have been, I think that could have been easily fixed, but otherwise that's a outstanding, ridiculously cool image.
Oh yeah.
But the Howard Yermish shot is also outstanding and ridiculously cool, and it plays into the theme. And I mean, both of them took a lot of technical competence to execute. But in the end, there's at least no big discernible sort of things that are drawing our eye to an anomaly in the Howard image. So,
right. Yeah,
I would be proud to hang both on my wall, but
yes, absolutely.
We got to pick one, so I'm going to pick Howard Yermish.
I like it. No, I mean, there's a lot of amazing images. They're all amazing, and they all did motion really well. And that's a tough challenge, actually. Motion isn't easy to capture and tell the story in. So, kudos to everybody who went out and tried that. So, What's our next one? What's our next theme?
The next theme for next week for critique number 62 will be technology. Technology. Yes.
So somebody could do screen captures of us and make us into Borg.
Oh, here we go. You had to put it in the universe, didn't you? You had to put it out there. No, that would be immediately disqualified. I'm just saying. There's so many ways to interpret technology, right? There's so many ways.
There is, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, go for it. Technology. I'm not even going to give any guidance because we are surrounded by technology every day and many things that we do, But
we should exclude the image that's posted and said it was created with technology.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? You're right. Because the image itself needs to represent technology, not just that you use technology to capture it.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't submit a photo of a sunflower and say I used a camera to take this and the camera is the technology. Yes.
Right. To be fair.
Yeah.
Just one simple.
Yeah. Just think of it from the standpoint of you're creating an image that is, I mean, it could be many different interpretations, but this is an image that your editor-in-chief said, I need an image that's representative of technology in 2019, 2020, right? So tell me, and you're going to go, it's going to be written by an author who's going to be telling us all about technology, and I need something either abstract or literal that represents technology. Go for it, photographer. So that's your mission.
Nice. Nice. I like this topic. This is good. I even have an image in mind. I'll have to get it in before the last 45 minutes, though.
There you go. Yep. Well, cool, man. So what's it's April Fool's Day. What's on your docket for today? Are you pulling any jokes or anything on people?
No, I do not pull jokes because I don't like jokes pulled on me much. So today is ceramics day. I'm going to go to ceramics.
Nice.
Make pots. Hang out.
Yeah. Good. You got to do something to commemorate the day, though. I mean, you know, make a pot and have some sort of joke in there somewhere. That's April Fool's Day or something. Oh, I love it. Well, cool. All right. Lots to do. We'll get this thing edited and posted for the members, and we're off into the races. We're at the beginning of the quarter. It's April 1st.
It's crazy. Days are getting longer.
Yeah, Q2 is upon us. It is nuts. And unfortunately, here in the United States, it is also tax month.
Yeah.
So have fun with that, people.
We all did.
Yes. Love it. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks a lot, Troy Miller. This has been another successful photo critique. Like I said, next week is number 62. And the topic will be technology. So bring your tech, bring all your bases to us, and we will review them this time next week.
Yay.
All right, Troy Miller. Take care, man.
All right. See you, bud.
See ya. This is TWiP.